So that brings all that to a sudden halt.
Well, a lot of jumping around going on out there, not too much. It just shows that the Portland Trailblazers are much more active than the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks seem to be a tired team, and they've had the better of the scheduling as Johnny Davis comes up with the steal, and you can bet he's going to take it in.
Boy, he is something to watch. 16 points. Back to the other end, Bridgman trying to get open. Junior Bridgman now with 12 points. It's amazing to me how this Portland team, no matter who they seem to have out on the floor, they play the same type of offense, same type of defense. Jack Ramsey has them all thinking alike.
Well, that's what he wants to do. He wants to have those interchangeable parts, and they just move them around in positions, and they try and go with the same thing.
There's an example of it right there.
No pressure on the ball. When you don't have pressure, the guys can move and cut like that. You can find that cutter, and it's easy to get that high percentage shot.
115-82. 2.5 minutes to go. Benson outside. Ken Benson with 13 points. Well, Ken Benson picking up some points. His high for the year is 19. 115-84. Backdoor broken up by Benson. Off it comes to Walton. Intended for Bridgman. Dunn is back in a hurry. It's tough to catch Portland napping on those kind of plays. And we've got a timeout now by the Trailblazers. 115-84 as we're going to watch T.R. Dunn on the backdoor play for Portland.
A poem about deodorants. Roll, roll the roll-on, all sticky and wet. Or spray your underarm. What a fog you'll get. So give me the stick, Old Spice deodorant stick. It goes right to the spot. All wet or foggy it's not. It guards against odor the whole day long. With Old Spice freshness, you cannot go wrong. So goodbye roll-on, so long spray. Old Spice stick, it's the only way.
Old Spice stick. Outward bound, Rota, Spain. The Navy. See your local recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
See what's new today.
Introducing the third generation Monte Carlo. The third generation of a highly successful personal luxury car. Its highly original styling opens new dimensions in affordable luxury and in comfort. With more rear seat headroom, legroom, and hip room than last year's Monte Carlo. The third generation Monte Carlo. Drive it and put a little distance between yourself and the crowd.
$115-84. There's our time. As you see it in the lower right-hand portion of your screen, 2:08. I don't think there's any verdict that hasn't already been decided here, but there is a lot to be decided as far as the playoffs are concerned. People think Boston's still not out of it. The New York Knicks. Of course, Chicago and Milwaukee battling to stay alive. Los Angeles, Seattle, Phoenix, Washington, Cleveland, New Orleans, they're all still very much trying to climb into the final six in each conference.
Well, there are a lot of mathematical possibilities, and Boston is one of those, but Boston is dead in the water as far as I can see. I think the teams that are surprises are the New Orleans Jazz and the Atlanta Hawks. Over in the Western Conference, again, you have a very tight race, and nothing is settled there. Detroit won again this afternoon, and they're making a little run at it. So you've got a lot of teams that are involved. The Milwaukee Bucks certainly needed a win today, and they have put themselves in jeopardy.
Corky Calhoun, he got it, and he's fouled by Junior Bridgman. That play was set up nicely by Johnny Davis again. Davis, by the way, has hit 8 of 12 from the field. There's another candidate for the MVP.
He shows that Corky Calhoun could play tight end. He takes it right in, and under traffic, he guides it, and he had the idea of throwing it down for a little stuff, but he didn't get it, but he got it the basket, and he's getting a chance to score some points. Again, he's building his confidence up, and he could be a factor for him when they really need him in the playoffs.
20 points yesterday, 13 points this afternoon. 118-84. Inside, 2 minutes to go. Broken up by Steele. Boy, they've had a lot of turnovers. Larry Steele. There's Jack Ramsey. Well, they finally relaxed. I didn't think I'd ever see that.
Well, with 1:46 to go, 120-84, I think he can get off that one knee.
Boy, what a show his team is putting on here this afternoon. Tom Owens, a breakaway to Davis. Davis lost control that time. Walton coming back up. And he walked to the ball. Lloyd Walton just couldn't get rid of it.
Well, it's one of those kinds of plays. He challenged Tom Owens. If he had stopped out high, Tom Owens would not have been able to guard he and Alex English. It was just like a little zone in there. He brought both men to him, and then he had nothing else to do but try and get it up to the hoop, and he was unsuccessful.
Davis to Dunn to steal. 1:21 left in this one. Portland to win number 52 of the year against only 11 setbacks. That is outstanding. Tom Owens, rebound Alex English. You just can't play much better in this team. They're defending that title with a zeal. They won 25 of their first 29 games, had 44 in a row before Denver defeated them on February 12th at home. That's including, of course, last season at home.
Well, they just have not lost many, and again, I think it's a lot of credit should be given to the coaching and to the players. They have come back to prove that they are the champions. They play with a lot of confidence and a lot of poise, and that's very important in trying to repeat in the NBA.
Kent Benson picked up the foul. That's his first. 54 seconds left in the game. Tom Owens with 16, 17 points, 16 rebounds. Well, I'm going to give my vote to Tom Owens as the MVP. And I believe that's going to be our MVP, as Steve Jones conferring with us. Also, producer Tom O'Neill agrees with that. Here's Benson. Rebound, Corky Calhoun, and off it comes to Johnny Davis. Thanks to our director, Jim Sillman, and our producer, Tom O'Neill. Good job, man. Larry Steele outside just continues to ram them home. 14 points, 124 to 86. Walton trying to pick up a pair, and he can't get it to drop. Grunfield can't. And here's Bridgman again, and this shows the frustration Milwaukee has faced this afternoon. Finally, Bridgman comes away with it, 14 points. Tom Owens. Tommy Owens now with 20 points. Makes that MVP award look even better. Off it comes to Bridgman. Junior Bridgman, Owens with another rebound. And he's tied up by Benson. So Tommy Owens, a lot of pressure on him coming into this game. He's going to have to hold down that center spot until the big guy, Bill Walton, can recover from that foot surgery he underwent today. He's going to be out maybe a week, maybe as many as 3 days, or 3 weeks, I should say. And he came in here today, and he has just had an outstanding week. He had 25 points against the Knicks, and here today he has 20. 7 seconds. Davis. Owens. 1 second. That basket will not count. That basket will not count. So our Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award is going to go to Tom Owens. Outstanding game, 20 points, 16 rebounds. The Chevrolet $1,000 scholarship will be awarded to South Carolina on behalf of Tom Owens. 126 to 88, a very impressive victory by the Portland Trail Blazers, whose record now goes to 52-11. On the other hand, the Milwaukee Bucks have lost 2 in a row now after losing to Phoenix on Friday night. Their record now is 33-31, and now they lead the Chicago Bulls in that Midwest division by only a half a game, as it's very, very much to be contested in that division. Let's go now to Steve Jones with our MVP for the day.
Well, I'm here with the traveling man, Tom Owens, and T.O., today you got off and got a lot of points early. Did you feel any pressure taking Bill Walton's place?
Well, a little bit in that we want to win as many of these games as we can, and what most people don't realize is not just Bill's out, but a guy that's, you know, so valuable in Lloyd Neal. We lost a guy that was playing as good as anybody in the league, so there's pressure on us guys that are left to do the best we can, but we still got a good team. We can win some games.
Well, I know you like to score those baskets. You're working hard down at the end. You'll take any basket you can get your hand on. Would you like to see an opportunity to play a little forward? Now, you know Lloyd is out, and I know that in the ABA you played a little forward. I know, again, you like to shoot that Springer from the outside. You think Jack Ramsey's going to give you a chance?
Well, maybe if Bill comes back, but I have more trouble playing forward on this type team because the speed and the cutting involved. On a team where a big forward is just able to post up, it's not quite as hard, but I have more trouble blending in the movement and feel much more comfortable at center. So, but if I have to play there, you know, I'll play anywhere I can, I hope.
Of course, it's important to get minutes, and you got a lot of minutes today. You got a lot of passing and a lot of assists today. Normally, you're not giving that ball up like that. That's something that Walton does, and, you know, you're not credited for that, but I know I played with you in the ABA, and you did pass the ball to Billy Cunningham.
Well, I can pass the ball. It depends on, you know, the kind of offense. When you're in an offense like Houston, you could be a great passer and never have the chance to pass it because everybody's shooting perimeter jump shots. But here, you know, we got to pass an offense. I think I had 9 assists the other night in the Garden, but there's no pass and stuff. But I don't know. You know, we got a good offense with guys that'll move without the ball, so you really have a chance to pass better to guys like that.
All right, Tom Owens, I want to thank you for being my guest this afternoon. Let's go back to Gary Bender.
All right, Steve, 20 points for Tom Owens, 16 rebounds as he ties Maurice Lucas for scoring ownership on the Portland Trail Blazers. Lucas also with 20 points. The leading scorer, Junior Bridgman for the Milwaukee Bucks with a total of 14. We'll be back in a moment.
Next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, the CBS Sports Spectacular presents live the Professional Karate Association's World Middleweight Championship with undefeated Bill Superfoot Wallace defending his title against undefeated Emilio Narvez. And highlights of World Cup skiing from Stratton, Vermont with Ingemar Stenmark of Sweden and Phil Mayer of the United States slated to compete. That's next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
And go. Well, Steve Jones, as you check the individual scoring, it's so indicative of the success of the Portland Trail Blazers. What balance they had. We had Lucas along with Owens with 20 points. They were supported 14 points by Steele, 15 by Hollins, 14 by Gross, 16 by Davis. They don't have anybody in the top 20 scoring-wise. They don't have to.
Well, they don't have to. No one really gets that many opportunities to shoot the ball a lot. They have good balanced scoring, and, of course, that's what makes a good, successful basketball team. Again, adversity has a way of finding heroes. Yesterday was Corky Calhoun. Today it was Tom Owens. They don't give themselves an excuse, and that's why they're on top.
Now, you look at Milwaukee. Today was not a good game for them, but they're such a young team. I guess you suspect that's going to happen to them once in a while.
Well, the big problem for them, and you could see it in their youth, was that they had no control of the game at all. They started off early, and they started off trying to run and force the offense. David Myers took 3 tough shots early, got 2 of them down, and that sort of set the trend for them, and they had problems all day. When you are young, what the coach wants you to really learn is control and tempo of the game, how to get your shots, and what will make you look like a strong basketball team. Today, they exposed themselves with a lot of outside shooting. Brian Winters is a great outside shooter, and he made a lot of tough baskets in getting the points that he got today.
Well, he had 13 points. Now, that isn't even close to what he's done in the past, but they took that phase of the game away. They just wouldn't let him get open out there.
Well, normally he gets a lot of those shots coming off picks and in that type of situation where they're running their set offense. Today, he won a lot of one-on-one. He does not have the type of quickness to really beat a Lionel Hollins out high. When he's working, he has to work real hard to get the shot off, and when you have to work that hard, it's a lot of pressure, and you're going to tire early, and he tired.
All right, big guy, I'm going to ask you a tough question. Is this Portland team better than last year's?
Oh, there's no question that they're a better basketball team than they were a year ago. They're playing with a great deal more confidence, but the league is much more balanced than it was a year ago. You have a San Antonio team that's playing with more confidence. They feel like they've got a shot at winning. The Denver Nuggets have beaten the Portland Trail Blazers 3 times, and they certainly feel like if they can match up with Portland, they got a shot at winning the championship. And then there's always the ever-dangerous Philadelphia 76ers.
Well, I don't think anybody would argue that Pacific Division is maybe having the best balance. So thanks again to our producer, Tom O'Neill, and our director, Jim Silman, for a job very well done here in the Pacific Northwest. A beautiful day out here. Kind of good to get away from all that snow in the Midwest and come out here and watch the red-hot Portland Trail Blazers. They were just awesome today, winning 126 points against 88 for the Milwaukee Bucks. This is Gary Bender for Steve Jones saying goodbye from the Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon. Next week on the CBS Sports Spectacular, it's a PKA World Middleweight Karate Championship. Bill Superfoot Wallace puts his title on the line against 19-year-old Emilio Narvez. Then it's World Cup skiing from Stratton, Vermont. The United States is led by Phil Mayer of White Pass, Washington. That's next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular. The final once again, 126-88. The Portland Trail Blazers with their 52nd win. The NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.
From the producer of The Towering Inferno and The Poseidon Adventure comes Jules Verne's spectacular undersea adventure, The Return of Captain Nemo. See it Wednesday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain on CBS.